The story is about an old woman called Shosho who belonged to a people called the Amazona tribe. Now, the Amazona tribe, they had their own land and they were hardworking. They loved coming together, singing during ceremonies. They would sing, they would dance, then they would eat together. They shared work, they shared food. They shared happiness. Even when they would be attacked by other tribes, they would come together and defend each other. The power of togetherness, the power of protecting each other. And therefore, the Amazona, they were very communal and loving people, and they cherished everything they do together as a community. Among them was this old woman, and this old woman, she was called Dollie. Now, Dolly, she was old, but she had a farm, a big farm, and she had many people. There were many people who would come to do various chores. They would farm, they would dig, they would clean for her, they would go cultivate the land for her, and she was very happy and she was very wealthy. And although she was very wealthy, she was very mean. She never shared any of her harvest or any of her property with anyone. And we are told the people would come, she would hire people, come work, and then she would have so much food and she would sell. But not even a grain of rice or corn would she give to those people, to her workers. And so they would go complaining. Although she would pay her, they would go complaining she was mean, unfriendly, and she was clengy, and she was clumsy. But she should only never cared. And she would say, I don't care. These people, these workers, they are just mean, low life, and they just want things for free. I'll not give anything to them. And so she would take everything, store it up, and then she would sit and wait and sell everything. But the workers, they kept coming, and they would do their work diligently, and they would do to the full of their ability. And so we are told she lived alone in her big, wealthy, affluent, and rich. Being a rich woman in her farm, she lived alone. She was a lonely woman, but she never cared. And she had a doll that she called Dollie. This Dollie, we are told, she was very tender. She cared, she carried it, she handled it, and we are told she would always have it cleaned, and so it was her company. So that Dollie is what would give her that comfort and company. And because she was mean, she never cared about other company of other people. And so Dollie was her company. And so we are told Dollie, life went on and she would grow and she had a lot of money and workers would come and then she would sell all her produce to traders. And so she had a lot of wealth, but she was all alone. Now the villagers, they were annoyed. They became so hateful of her and they disliked her and they disregarded her and they thought she was mean and they thought she was so unfriendly, and so they despised her and nobody actually talked to her. Even when the workers would come, they just did their work alone and then they'd go. And so the villagers, they put a boundary and they said, we can never help this woman. And so Shoshodeli, we are told, she lived and she became so unpopular, unfriendly with the other villagers. But then one day, the villagers, they heard that there was so much rainfall across over the ridges on the other side of the mountain in other villages. And they prepared and they packed and they called each other and they decided to run away, to walk away, and to flee from that place before the rains came, because the rain, it was hailstorm. And they were told the hailstorm would fall and destroy everything and carry everything away. And so they conspired and they said, we are not going to call that Shosho Dolly. Let her stay with her food. Let her stay with her money. Let her stay with her pride. And so they decided to move away and to go away before they were caught up by the hailstorm. And so they moved away and they went to another place where they were safe from the hailstorm, and therefore they were safe from the destruction that was to come through the floods. Now, Shosho Dolly, for 2-3 times, she did not have workers. And nobody came to tell her where the other villagers were. But she shrugs and said, these villagers, they are poor. I don't like them. They keep on borrowing, begging everything. Let me see how long they'll stay before coming begging for my work. Whoa, and to Shosho Dolly, little did she know that nobody was going to come. And then after 2-3 days, for a week, she realized their village was quiet and the workers actually had vanished. Nobody was coming. Now, we are told after some time, she realized nobody was there and the place was hauntingly quiet, very silent. Even if you drop a pin drop, you'd hear the sound like that one. Now, Shosho Dolly became aware nobody was coming. Then she'd go out and then she'd go out and nobody was there. And then slowly, it started raining. Everybody had run away. And then as it rained, the rain increased day and night. And then the raindrops developed into hailstorms. And then the rains became so heavy. Shosho Dolly, she realized, I have to do something. And she realized, everybody had run away. And so she went, she gathered a few things, plus her dolly, and then she decided to run away also. But she was caught by the rains. And we are told, as she was running away, she met with the hyenas. And the hyenas also were running away. But the hyenas, they attacked the Shosho Dolly. But one of the hyenas pleaded with the others and said, hey, don't eat. She's an old woman. Don't eat her. But then all of them, the Shosho Dolly plus her doll and the hyenas, they went together running away from the hailstorm. And Shosho Dolly could not move faster enough or quick enough like the hyenas. And you are told they went. And then after they came to a place where it was no longer, the rains were no longer, it was a dry place. And being a dry place, it was a desert. And there was no food. And Shosho Dolly plus her dolly and the hyenas, there was nothing to eat. And then she remembered she had so much in her house, but it was not destroyed. And then the hyenas, they remembered, now we are hungry. Whom do we eat? Now they turn around and Shosho Dolly was also scared, plus her dolly. And the hyenas, one of them said, no, we can't go hungry and we can't die. And so they went and they grabbed the Shosho Dolly and they ate her up, and her dolly was shredded into pieces and everything was silent. Now, after the hailstorm, the villagers, the Amazona people, decided to go back to their land. And when they came, they saw her dolly. It was in pieces. It was destroyed. It was in pieces, and it was no more. And they didn't even mourn for Shosho Dolly because they thought, let her even beaten. She was mean and friendly. She even could not share, and she could not even talk to people. Let her beaten by the hyenas. And that's the end of my story. So it's good to share, it's good to be friendly, and it's good to love others, and it's good to talk to others, even when you may not like them. Because when you talk to others and you are friendly and you share with the others, they'll come and help you. But when you are mean, nobody helps you. When you are mean, nobody will be kind to you. When you are mean, nobody will even come and rescue you, and you become a lonely person, which is bad. So let us be friendly. Bye. Good.